Welcome back to the Inja 2.0. Today I'm going to take this video very casually. I'm severely sleep deprived and I'm basically running on coffee and energy drinks. But we have some very exciting news. The McLaren engine is in. We have it. It looks good. It is as described from eBay so far. We have not actually run it. They say it's in fully running and operational condition. So we're basically taking their word for it. We're gonna slap it in soon. In this video, I wanna show you the actual engine I got, all the parts that came on it, everything, because I know you guys haven't even seen that yet. So today I'm just gonna go ahead and screen record this whole thing. We're just gonna talk about it. We're gonna run through it, exactly what we got, and why I went this route. It was viable to rebuild that engine. I don't think it would have been worth it in the end though. I think I would have ended up with an unreliable car and probably paying more for everything to be rebuilt on it. So the old engine, the turbos were probably blown, lots of timing stuff in the engine was destroyed, cylinder walls were completely scratched up, and cams probably would have needed to be replaced, and valves and all kinds of stuff. So by the time we actually rebuilt the original engine on this thing, I really don't think it would have been anywhere worth it. Whereas we picked up a 9,000 mile McLaren engine, complete engine, it's got the turbos on it and everything. So let me hit screen record and let's talk about it. This is the original listing that I was looking at. When I told you guys it was around $25,000, that's what it was. So this was the second listing of this same item. When I saw it the first time, when I knew that I might potentially have to replace the engine now, I saw this and it was listed at $19,999. So $20,000 is what they were asking for it. And it had been on eBay for roughly 2 weeks at that point. And then the listing expired. So I put in an offer on the engine for $15,000. And then they replied to my offer. I think they went down to $19,000. And that's the price I got it for. Obviously plus taxes, obviously plus shipping, which in California comes out to a lot. Taxes alone, I think, was like $1,800 just for taxes. But you guys can see here, the total was still $20,964.17. Yeah, not a fun situation, that's for sure. It overdrew my bank account balance by $13,000 in the main account that it charged. And that was not a fun notification to wake up to, that's for sure. So I went this route. You guys can see it's a complete engine. Like they literally dropped the entire powertrain out, took the transmission off, and they're selling the entire complete engine. Obviously here it comes with turbos, which I would assume don't need to be replaced like mine would have had to. It comes with catalytic converters, which mine could have been shot. Really mysterious condition mine were in. I wasn't getting a check engine light or anything for catalyst problems, but there could have been a good amount of oil saturating them, so they might have gone out soon after I rebuilt that engine with those same cats. But this engine came with everything, literally. Intake, cats, turbos, engine. Even ignition coils, everything else, which I have brand new ignition coils in now. I just got in the new spark plugs, so we're actually installing the engine tomorrow now that I have the spark plugs in. So it's a very exciting time, that's for sure. I'll just kind of scroll through the pictures too if you guys want to look at them, and if you have any helpful feedback in the comments, just let me know. I will move on to here, the DLD, driveline dampener. This is the old style, and I know some of you guys who are watching know McLarens pretty well, and some comments, actually last video when we dropped the engine out, were saying there's a certain number of things that I should probably replace now before we put the engine back in. The driveline dampener I did buy. It was another $2,800, $2,900 to my door. So that was another hit. So even though I got this engine for $21,000, I got another $3,000 of miscellaneous parts and stuff that I had to put into it before putting it back in, just for reliability's sake. Now that the budget's completely blown, I was like, I'm just gonna put all of these dumb things on a credit card and just pay it off over time. We've resorted to financing this build at this point. So I got the driveline dampener kit, the new updated version of it in, and it's currently at Ryan's house, and we're gonna install all of that tomorrow when we mate the transmission back up to the new engine and before we put it in the car. The cam phasers I did not replace because that would be freakishly expensive. They are with bolts and equipment and stuff you need. It's like $825 per cam phaser times 4. So that would be like another $3,000 something for that. Plus I have to also factor in Ryan's labor. I have no idea what he's gonna charge me. Yeah, I don't even wanna guess. I'm hoping that he had a good enough time on the project to where he goes easy on me. And he's been awesome throughout this whole thing. He said we could even potentially maybe do some trades and stuff. So anyway, that is the engine. Driveline dampener, obviously I'll be replacing that because those are known to fail. Cam phasers, I'm just gonna hope and pray, cross my fingers on those ones. And then turbos, I'm assuming are not blown on this new engine. It's only got 9,000 miles on it. So hopefully it should just be a slap in run the car. It should be fine and very reliable for a long time still. That's the hope, at least, and that's just the route we're going with it. And trust me when I say I have looked into every option with this whole engine thing. I had Kevin at Supercar Garage ATL quote me on a simple get it running kind of rebuild all the way up to adding power kind of rebuild, which at his reduced cost for me, which I hugely appreciated, it still wasn't going to be worth it. Like, I might as well just buy a new motor and get this thing slapped in as soon as possible. And that's another thing I'm heavily considering too, is just time factor. I could do this right, send it to McLaren. I could have it rebuilt at a certified McLaren technician that rebuilds these engines for more power and everything, but that's a lot of money to do like power modifications, and it would just be a freakishly long time, and I couldn't film any of it anyway. And right now, to me at least, the story of this car means a lot more than the money spent on this car. I've just kind of accepted the fact that this budget is completely blown on this project. We're probably close to $100,000 now with this new engine purchase and everything, which is literally a clean title, 20,000 mile 650S Spider. So anyway, that's the engine I bought. That's all I really wanted to say. Let's do a quick little, I just forgot. The assessor came for the Lamborghini window that got smashed out. Remember, you guys, I told you Lamborghini window got smashed out the other day.
The one, huh?
This is the one. I already cleaned it up pretty good, and it wasn't anything that couldn't buff out, but you can definitely, with the light, you can kind of see there's just some surface clear coat scratches. So I bet you he did that to 7 other cars that night. He probably was just walking around smashing windows out, checking glove boxes. It should be a pretty straightforward procedure. I just want to get the process moving. I've already had this sitting, it's almost been a month already, just sitting in the driveway with the broken window. So I want to really get this going. So just it sitting here is $550 in insurance. And if a shop's doing it, has to ship it from Italy, it takes a month to get it, then a month for them to do. I'm going to be out, plus our deductible, at least like $2,500 just to. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I want this process to get expedited, or I feel like there should be a reimbursement for an insurance cost as well. So I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot of money for it to be sitting here this long.
It is a lot.
So I don't want this thing to sit too long too, especially supercars. They don't like sitting. Lots of things just randomly start breaking. So I appreciate you. Thank you. So here's the Lamborghini with the broken window. It's been sitting here for 3 weeks. State Farm just barely sent somebody out here to just assess the thing. It's like barely starting the process. 3 weeks later, which is like $500 in insurance, that I'm still paying on this car for it to just freaking sit in my driveway. 3 weeks later, they just got the process started. And obviously with insurance, they want you to like go through a certified shop, and certified shops will have to buy the glass new from Italy and take another month to just get the freaking glass, and then probably another month to get around to installing it for me on insurance time and whatever. So I asked the insurance assessor today, like, if I can just get a payout and then install a window myself, because I can get aftermarket windows and used windows in 3 freaking days. I can do this job in 3 freaking hours, and I can have it done and actually drive the car again. The more it sits in the driveway, the more things are just gonna break on it. Like, the battery's already going flat 3 weeks later, and there's just gonna be lots of miscellaneous things that start going out if this thing sits around too long. And did I mention I'm still paying $550 a month for this thing sitting in my driveway with a broken window? The CBR 1000RR, I'm so close to finishing this thing up. I'm putting the last fairing pieces on it. I got to get the front tire replaced at my dad's house since he has a tire changing machine. So when those little items are done, it's done. You guys, you know what? I'll fire it up for you real quick if you guys are interested. Now, I'm not supposed to be showing you this because this is content I'm not supposed to show you guys yet, but let's just fire it up, see how she sounds. Very low on gas, that's for sure. I need to put some gas in the tank. But it runs great, and yeah, that is in neutral, so I just need to get this thing, anyway, I just need to get this thing on an actual drive. I've not gone through any of the gears. I've taken it like 10 feet. That was the only ride I've given it. I probably will sell this one when the CBR is done, just because, I don't know, man, this bike has my heart. This was the first bike I fell in love with all those years ago. I sat on one of these and it just felt right. I know it's not the nicest bike ever, but it's just got that thing, you know? Oh, I almost forgot too. I did get a new sump for the McLaren. So in here is the sump. However, notice that this mounting tab looks like it's bent to me. The listing did not say there was a bent mounting tab. They said minor dent, and that is not the same thing as a bend. So I need to still verify that this will even fit in the McLaren, because obviously I have to replace the oil sump in the McLaren. I don't know. It may be failed, it may not be. I have no idea at this point. I can't say with certainty that's the case, but I just want to replace the oil sump, the whole unit, just in case, just in case. And then the eBay seller just sent me one that was more damaged than listed, and I probably won't even mount correctly. Thanks, eBay sellers. This is like the third thing that's been a scam kind of item that I've bought for this build. Man, freaking people. Today's Monday, and I'm hoping we have the engine installed this week. So hopefully you guys will have a video coming soon. If I were being realistic, it'll probably be a week and a half that you actually get the video. If, given that we actually have the engine installed by this weekend, it'll take me several days to just edit the video as well. So anyway, video coming soon. Lots of moving parts right now, lots of stress. I also forgot to mention funding for this engine. Segway, the scooter and e-bike brand and whatnot, they actually paid me some pretty decent sized dollars to go to CES this year. It was like a week and a half ago at this point, but they basically had me on the trip, all expenses paid, to get some content for them, which you guys will see next video. So that was an unexpected, last minute, huge boost to my morale, and it almost will pay off half the McLaren engine. I couldn't even believe my eyes when I got that email a few days before CES, like, hey, we want you out here, what's it gonna take? And I could just not believe, just like the answer to prayers. I had just bought the McLaren engine literally like the day before, and I woke up to an overdrawn balance and all kinds of financial issues. And then I get the email like, hey, we're gonna have you out at CES, what's your price? Anyway, it was just perfectly timed financially, and just, I needed a break at that point. I was so stressed when I went on that trip, but it really helped just get me out of my own head, just taking a 6-hour road trip to Las Vegas, and then staying in a all expenses paid hotel for a couple nights. And it was really cool. They treated me so well, and I met so many cool people. I'm still in the red, obviously, and so I'm hoping my crypto starts pumping soon and pays off the rest of the McLaren engine. A lot of you guys followed through, and I felt so much love last night just seeing orders coming through on the website. Like, it means so much to me. You guys don't even know. It wasn't that long ago that I was sleeping in a mobile home on a couch with only $42 in my bank account. I've been praying to have a community like this for a while, and man, you guys pulled through. It was awesome. These videos are getting more and more special for me just because I'm doing better and better work as I feel more and more support. You guys have been awesome. And so I'm hoping the content coming is gonna just absolutely blow your minds. And I'm stepping up, I'm ramping this thing up. You guys have noticed I've been posting a lot more often, more consistently. So anyway, I'll catch you in the next video.